No, I took this little this little screen cap from King of Lightning, and it just goes to show that just everybody is paying attention and witnessing certain things. I don't think there's a lot of grifters in what's going on. I just think people with a big enough audience and bigger audiences are raising awareness in the little things that they say from whatever niche they be in to talk about the things going on with these companies ruining original works of art. I want to talk about that for a little bit in my own little theory on why that is in a spiritual take. So I'm going to show the clip, and I want to say thank you for tuning in. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to remain authentic, and thank you for tapping into the frequency. And here we go.
Earthbender, they made like those giant like slabs lift up and they push them forward, stuff like that. So, but I guess maybe we'll see more of that if they actually do good. And I want this to do good. Like, don't get me wrong. I want this to be good. So far, it's kind of like, you know, with the whole soccer stuff, that's not a good look. And so I think the mindset is, because it kind of cuts both ways, where it's like, as an Avatar fan, you do want a good live action adaptation, for sure. But then you hear things like, we're going to make Sokka less misogynistic, even though he has to be, because it's, or he should be, because it is a important part for his character growth. For him to actually kind of be less, over the course of time, less misogynistic. And because we are accustomed to, let's say, hearing stuff like people changing very good IPs to fit certain narratives and certain agendas, Star Wars fans know. Star Wars fans know. Are you watching the first episode after? No. I'm watching it on Saturday. Maybe. Actually, probably on Monday, honestly, because I'm still going through Loki's into right now. But Star Wars fans, they know what the deal is. The Force is female? No, whoa. What the fuck you mean, bro? The Force is universal. Male, female, X, Y, X, doesn't even matter. What the fuck you mean? Female, huh? So, yeah. There are things where it was like, there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of scar tissue that has been built up because of a lot of the activity with Hollywood fucking a lot of these IPs that at their root are damn amazing. And when we hear about Sokka and the less misogynistic, it's like, fuck. But at the same time, think about it. Sanji is in the One Piece live action. Sanji, Taz, should be way hornier. He should be dramatically hornier. He should be a fucking hound. Now in the part one, I guess pre-time skip, it's not as bad, friend of fun. But he even stuck with the anime, he should be a lot more horn doggy, but he's not. They dumbed that back. It's pretty obvious they did. It's pretty obvious. So, you know, that's because they dumbed down or they removed Sokka's misogynistic tendencies does not mean it still can't be good. You know? So, by the way, Cole, we did. All right. So, I'm going to get that someone in the future. But not now.
Yeah, so I was this is, I think, after I did my Avatar reaction, I found this. And I was actually not shocked to see King of Lightning watch it, but I wanted to see his perspective on it. A lot of these creators that I get clips from, I don't watch their content all the way. It's like this synchronicity where it lines up where I recognize some of them and then like I click on a video and then woo, they have something I want to talk about and I'm like, oh, awesome. And yeah, so shout out to King of Lightning. Actually, as I'm saying that out loud, I don't even know if that's the actual name of his channel, but the clip's there, the credit's there. Let's get it. So yeah, in the clip, he talks about, you know, the worries about when he hears things like, you know, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, things like, we're going to make Sokka less misogynistic. And it's very important to his character. See, I just don't think these companies or these entertainment industry giants, as I'm probably going to label the video, get character development, right? Here's the thing. When you go like here's the problem with trying to soften things up for a quote unquote modern audience, right? It's an odd thing. And before I even get into it, let me give a shout out to everyone who's been recognizing this and speaking out about it little by little. And, you know, of course, people who want to stay out of it don't have to speak about it. I feel as though I am supposed to give a couple takes on it because I want to give the spiritual, I guess, view on why I think it's going on. But I want to shout out because when I seen King of Lightning say that for that little portion, I was like, wow, so he's realizing too. Give me a moment. Okay, I stepped away for a little bit, but I think it's time to just drop my whole little theory on this going on and what it may be and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. We're going to get a bit wild in here, so click off if you're not prepared to hear all this, but we're going to get a bit wild. Essentially, from what I've come to understand about reality, at least in my own perspective, is anything you give attention to, it's going to grow. So if we have consumers consuming this modern audience stuff and not really like, not that I'm advocating for the boycott, but until you get exactly what you deserved, I think you should boycott things, but it would be hard to teach people that. And then again, there's the whole discussion about extremists and everything. I'm not saying go full blown extremist mode, but just be smarter with what you consume. I had a 9-minute take before this, but I scrapped it to reshoot this part and basically say like, we deal with forms of media that's like escapism and entertainment and everything like that. I think we would have a better time getting better, or we would have potentially better entertainment and things like that if you could teach consumers to really separate. Actually, now that I have that point, I want to change it. You know what? Scrap that. I just want to say this. Let's stay on the energy harvest thing. I feel like whatever you invest your energy into, right, there's an exchange. Again, Nikola Tesla said it best. If you want to understand the keys to the universe, think in terms, I'm probably switching them, but because there's so much flying through my head, like 369. Once you understand the numbers 369, you have the keys to the universe. And the other one, if you want to think of how the universe works, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So how is this energy harvest? Well, if you're consuming a media, right, and say it's something you grew up with as a child, and then say a group of beings that come along and basically are one of the powerhouses for entertainment in the world, switch around something like Star Wars or Snow White or anything that you grew up with as a child. Well, if we understand how reincarnation works, essentially your soul leaves the body, you come back if you choose, or you come back as an animal. People have all these different beliefs, right? But essentially your consciousness is recycled, right? But it's more I feel like reincarnation is more your choice. There's a bunch of different stories on it. Some people believe if you don't do everything you're supposed to do in one life, you come back to try to finish off the rest in the next life. But imagine this. Imagine your energy was being harvested, which I'm sure many people are starting to realize nowadays. Well, essentially, you have an energetic signature that is connected to what you experienced as a kid. When you see Snow White, or you get a moment of nostalgia of all that feeling. Every time I see these posts talking about 90s kids, my heart lights up because us 2000s kids went through similarly the same things, man. Like hanging around the energy generator when you're a kid and everything, and just like the old school kind of retro things and how malls looked and the little like McDonald's stuff in the mall and the rides, like it brings me back. Well, same thing with cartoons that were old and all of that, and how people feel when they get older now is like when you look back at those original creations, there's something just so special about the memory. It just kind of warms you, right? Now imagine beings that are basically that can control propaganda and all this stuff went back and just changed. Say your dearly beloved Snow White has now became what's her name that was playing her, and just I'm not going to say her name, I know it, but and she's just the actor herself just comes off as someone who's like a modern industry plant trying to ruin your thing. You may be very emotionally charged to them trying to destroy something that's near and dear to your heart, and even disrespect the author or the original creators of the story. Well, if everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, that would be throwing your energy off. They would be harvesting your energy because you're investing in what they're trying to do, which would be to get a reaction out of you. And once you give them that reaction, that is you giving them energy to be stronger. That's why, again, I when it comes to what happens in the world, when people say like, oh, like it's predictive programming and how did they know this person was going to be elected and all that. And it's because like the whole thing, they got to tell you, they need an energy transfer. They got to tell you what they're doing to you before it happens. Even talking about the whole thing with Snow White is, if you put energy to it, it just makes it even more popular. And I've showed how these events are scripted in videos I have on the channel. Just look up my scripted realities. But, they have to do this and essentially do things like making Sokka less misogynistic because it has to keep pushing the agenda. And there's literally people who are shilling that are saying that none of this stuff is happening and people are just overreacting. And no, it's happening because the thing is if you can warp the perception of many, you can control reality. You can control everyone's reality, actually. If you can get everyone to accept and basically agree to being ran over, you can run them over. That's why they put in your face what they're going to do to you before they do it. Hence all the pronouns and all the modern stuff and Sweet Baby Ink. And all of this stuff. And I just essentially hope that people wake up to the truth more and more and they don't let something like that happen because, our mind is the most powerful tool. We are the highest form of technology and you really have to control your energy and your attention to where it goes because wherever your attention goes, it grows. And yeah, that's just it, man. Like, it's like someone who keeps complaining about watching videos they don't like. Well, then what do you tell them? Stop watching those videos, and then sometimes that person will always have an excuse like it's not that easy, it's not this. But no, seriously, that's why it's either that or take your emotions out of it. Learn to look at things with an objective view. And that's what I do with much drama I see that pops up and everything. I basically stay clear. But if I click on something and it happens to be drama or something like that, I look at it as such an objective view. I try not to get invested because it's energy. I understand energy. And you are giving energy to the thing that you're paying attention to. And sadly, a lot of people's favorite series are being flipped. Like I said, what they did with Suicide Squad and gaming is, that's actually funny. Like, I think a lot of people are coming to that realization now that it wasn't just happening in movies. It's happening in games. It's happening across games. It's happening in magazines. It's happening across basically all forms of media. I don't know if it's just America, but I know everyone's watching it happen in America. That's why I say America is an experiment, dude. But essentially, I really feel like they're trying to learn how to warp reality, the reality for everyone. And I feel like they definitely know already, hence the Mandela effect and things like that. But essentially, everything I'm saying is just like, keep your energy to you. Remember to separate entertainment from reality and all that good jazz because, it could be your series that's next. Maybe enough voices and eyes have been on this subject that it's finally done. Like, now we're going to really start seeing the out. You've been seeing game developers and everyone come out and really kind of battle against this shit with Stellar Blade and things like that coming out. And like the South Park stuff. So again, I see the flip on the horizon and it is awesome. We're starting this year off really good. And again, don't let people decide reality for you. Live your own reality. And then the collective reality should honestly be, as long as no one's stepping on each other's toes, live however you want. And I know and literally go back and listen to that again. As long as you're not harming any other being here, because that would be out of balance. I feel with reality, do what the hell you want, man. Don't listen to people. But anyways, yeah, man, I feel like it's definitely an energy harvest, and that's what I'm ending the video on. I definitely know that they're going back and changing original things to gain a reaction out of people who are original fans of the series, because why else would it be like that? It's not like, everyone's asking this question of why they're doing this and not just respecting the source content. Well, if you look at it in a metaphysical manner, it would be to harvest energy from people. That's all it would be. And to literally forcibly change a reality or enforce a reality on you. That's just what it would be. They're not even going about it in a peaceful way. If you deny this new reality that they push with modernizing things you absolutely get hated. So they're just trying to create another divide. And that's what I think at the end of the day it's really about. It's about energy siphoning, divide, conquer. Divide and conquer, yeah. Wow. And just, yeah. I didn't even realize what I was saying. But yeah, pretty much divide and conquer. Like I didn't realize I was going into that, but that's pretty much what it is. Divide, have people at each other's necks, have people fighting on both sides, that modern gaming and modern movies and all this isn't happening. Have them argue amongst each other while we infiltrate behind the scenes and we inject the real plan. That's it for me. Much love and Moonlight. I'm out.